Have you ever wondered how much we truly understand about the people around us? Can you sense when someone's smile is masking insecurity or when confident words veil fragile self-worth? In a world obsessed with image, where performance often takes precedence over presence, how can we learn to detect what's real and what's carefully curated? I'm your host, Alfred, and for today's video, we're diving into the subtle but powerful indicators that reveal a person's true character, not through grand speeches or filtered profiles, but through the quiet truths of their behavior. Unveiling the hidden layers of human nature, a journey into authenticity. Have you ever truly paused to consider how little we actually know about the people standing right in front of us? Every single day, we encounter individuals who seem warm, kind, and even perfect, but appearances can be beautifully deceptive. Behind a radiant smile may hide a storm of insecurity, and behind confident words, a fragile self-worth quietly trembles. In a world obsessed with image, where surface often matters more than substance, the masks people wear can easily overshadow the truth of who they really are. But here's the good news. You don't need to be a philosopher or psychologist to see through the illusion. According to Shihengi, a modern thinker deeply rooted in ancient wisdom, there are subtle yet powerful aspects that reveal a person's true character. These are tiny cracks through which their authentic self shines through, often when they least expect it. These aren't complex or mystical, they're ordinary actions and everyday moments. But if you look closely, they can reveal everything. Imagine having the ability to see beyond words, to read the silent language of the soul and detect authenticity, not in what someone says, but in how they exist. Once you recognize these key indicators, you'll never see people the same way again, and maybe you'll see yourself more clearly too. Shihengi once said, "The essence of a person is revealed not in their grand gestures, but in their smallest actions." This profound insight invites us to observe how someone behaves when they think no one is watching. One of the most revealing indicators of a person's true nature is how they treat those who cannot reciprocate, those who hold no power, influence, or benefit over them. Think about it. How does someone act toward a janitor sweeping the floor, a waiter serving their meal, or a stranger asking for directions? An empathetic person shows no distinction. Their kindness isn't performative, it's part of who they are. On the other hand, someone who looks down on those in less powerful positions often carries hidden insecurities masked by a need to feel superior. Arrogance toward the powerless isn't just bad behavior, it's a psychological wound in disguise. It shows an unresolved relationship with the self, a distorted need to dominate because they fear being insignificant. These moments, small and easily overlooked, are windows into a person's emotional maturity. Watch closely. Do they thank the barrister? Are they patient with the receptionist? Or do they act as though they are above others? Psychologists agree that these behaviors are often more telling than big dramatic gestures, because in moments where there's nothing to gain, what's left is who they really are. And as you observe others, ask yourself, how do I treat people who have nothing to offer me? Do I rush past them, or do I pause long enough to connect, even if just with a smile? Authenticity isn't loud. It lives in quiet choices. Now let's shift our focus to another critical indicator of a person's character, the weight of promises. A promise is more than a sentence. It's a soul contract. When someone gives their word, they aren't just making a commitment to you. They're declaring something about how much they value truth, trust, and integrity. Even the smallest promise matters. Whether it's showing up on time, returning a call, or honoring a commitment made in passing, it all counts, because character is not built in big decisions. It's shaped in the small ones. Shihengi believed that your actions define you far more than your words. A person who keeps their word, even when it's inconvenient, is showing you their internal compass. Their actions align with their values, and that alignment is rare and precious. When someone breaks a promise, how they handle it is equally important. Do they take responsibility and offer an honest explanation, or do they blame others, minimize the damage, and move on as if nothing happened? This idea resonates deeply with the teachings of Brené Brown, who emphasizes the importance of vulnerability and courage. Owning a broken promise with sincerity is a sign of emotional maturity, and that's what you're looking for, not perfection, but integrity. Observe the patterns. Does this person overpromise? Do they consistently fall short? Or do they deliver quietly and consistently without needing applause? Because someone who keeps their word, even in small things, is likely to be dependable when it really counts. And again, turn inward. Are you honoring the promises you make to others and to yourself? Are you consistent with your own goals and inner commitments? Keeping promises isn't just about relationships, it's about self-respect. When you honor your word, you build trust within yourself, which radiates outward into every area of your life. Another revealing layer is inner stillness. Shihengi often spoke about how this quality shapes our interactions with the world. Inner stillness is the ability to remain calm and centered even in chaotic situations. People who possess this tend to respond rather than react. They don't lash out in anger or frustration when things go wrong. Instead, they pause, reflect, and choose their actions wisely. This ability to maintain inner peace is a hallmark of emotional intelligence and spiritual maturity. Think about the last time you encountered someone who remained composed during a stressful situation. How did it make you feel? Did it inspire confidence and trust? On the flip side, consider someone who loses their temper at the slightest inconvenience. What does that reveal about their inner state? According to Shihengi, our reactions to external circumstances are a mirror reflecting our inner world. If we are constantly reactive, it suggests that we are disconnected from our true selves. Cultivating inner stillness requires practice, patience, and self-awareness, but the rewards are immense. Let's explore empathy, the cornerstone of human connection. Empathy is more than just feeling sorry for someone. It's the ability to step into their shoes and see the world through their eyes. Shihengi believed that empathy is the bridge that connects us to others. When we practice empathy, we dissolve barriers and create space for understanding and compassion. But empathy isn't always easy. It requires us to set aside our ego, our biases, and our judgments. Consider how someone responds when a friend or colleague is going through a tough time. Do they listen attentively, offering support without judgment? Or do they dismiss the person's feelings, perhaps unintentionally, by offering unsolicited advice or minimizing their struggles? True empathy involves active listening and validation. It's about being present with the other person, holding space for their emotions without trying to fix or change them. Empathy also extends to how we treat ourselves. Are you compassionate toward your own mistakes and shortcomings, or do you berate yourself for every misstep? Self-compassion is a form of empathy that allows us to be kinder and more forgiving, not only to ourselves, but also to others. When we cultivate empathy, we create a ripple effect that touches everyone around us. Now, here are two more indicators of authentic character. First, how someone handles power. When given control, whether over people, resources, or decisions, do they become domineering, or do they uplift others? Power reveals more about character than any words ever could. Second, how someone embraces discomfort. Growth never comes from staying in comfort zones. Those who seek truth lean into uncomfortable conversations, admit when they're wrong, and show a willingness to change. That's rare and powerful. As we reflect on all we've explored, how someone treats those who can't reciprocate, the value they place on promises, their inner stillness, empathy, power, and discomfort, we uncover the quiet truths that define real character. So, next time you meet someone new, don't get lost in charm or charisma. Watch how they behave when the world isn't watching. That's where the truth hides. And as you do, remember, authenticity isn't something to be found in others. It's something to be nurtured in yourself. If this exploration moved you, inspired you, or gave you clarity, I encourage you to reflect on its implications. We live in a fast-paced world where surface-level interactions dominate, but real connection comes from seeing and valuing the depth beneath the surface. Thank you for investing your time in this conversation. Your presence here means you care about growth, awareness, and transformation. If you'd like to continue exploring topics like this, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'm your host, Alfred, and I read every comment. Share this with someone who values depth over surface, and let's inspire each other to become better versions of ourselves. Remember, we're not here just to grow, we're here to transform. Until next time, keep observing, keep learning, and most importantly, keep evolving.